The Federal Reserve hikes another 75 basis points with much more still to come. 75 basis points came down the pipe on Wednesday, and now we are at, I believe, 3.25, and they have a target of 4.4, and I'm target of 4.4, but they are going to reach that in 2023. The S&P hikes by 75 basis points, ending an era, basically about 15 years of being in negative interest rates. It was at 0.75 for many years, and it now is above board at 0.50. And the Bank of England raises interest rates again. It is now at 2.25, and we're just humming along. The members came to a unanimous decision to reduce the stock purchase of UK government bonds. And in other news, Nikola whistleblower makes $600,000 off a short sale. He told the jury. A former Nikola Corp contractor whose allegations of fraud at the electric truck maker helped spur a criminal investigation told a federal jury he made $600,000 off a short seller's report on the company. Now, basically, the idea is this guy Paul Lackey, who's about 40 years old, who's an older contractor, basically gave information to Hindenburg Research, and they basically published that information, which caused the stock of Nikola to drop by 24% in about 2 days. So off of that short sale, they made billions. He made hundreds of thousands. And so no good deed goes unpunished, I guess, does not apply here. He won't be able to get a job, but hello, ForexMilitia. This is Parsival, and we are going to go over the week of the 26th to the 30th, and we are going to go over last week's calendar first. And the basics of last week was rate hikes, as you saw in the preview, right? So we had some CPI from the loonie, right? 0.30. We had the FOMC. We had the SMB. We had the BOE, and then just on Friday, flash PMIs that came in sorted, right? There wasn't a whole bunch, and core retail sales from Canada. And then Powell spoke on Friday. So the market basically the dollar went into beast mode. It just took off. And going into this week, we are looking at Lagarde to speak on Monday, Powell to speak on Tuesday, customer confidence, Powell speaks on Wednesday, GDP from Canada, the Royal Bank of New Zealand, RBNZ, speaks, and then the core personal consumer expenditure price index on Friday. Every month with this. So it's pretty, what I would call this week is, I would call it just wait and see what Powell basically says, because he's guiding right now, and the markets are going to want to see what he and the FOMC has to say about what they're going to do with the rate hikes and their spreadsheet. their spreadsheet with their balance of purchasing government bonds, what they're going to do. So it's he's going to guide. All right. So with that, let's get to the charts and see what we can see. Right here, starting on the dollar, we basically have this still long, and like I said earlier, the dollar went into beast mode. It's basically at 112 now, highest it's ever been, and I guess in the last 30 years. I expect it to continue to go higher. The US 30 basically is tanking again. It basically just reached a level though that I was looking for it to reach earlier. It reached the top here, over here, and that is sometimes a signal that the market will actually reverse some. Now, it actually reached that with divergence. So there's kind of a wait and see to see exactly what actually happens with this. But it definitely looks like the market is going lower. I'm not sure about that because of the divergence that basically just took place here when it basically broke down into this area of, I would call it support. Okay, so I'm on a wait and see on this one. I want to see what Powell says, and I want to see next week what candle basically forms out. Okay, on gold, we basically have this breaking down also. It was in this channel right here, and now it's breaking lower, and it is still long, but they are taking some profits and adding to some shorts, I believe, on that one. On Bitcoin is still falling. It should most likely continue to fall with the markets. If what do you call it is going to continue to raise rates. So I am bearish on Bitcoin. On oil, last week I did say that this was going to rally. Something over here on oil that I saw, there was a large addition to the longs on oil. So that looks scary, and that basically looks like that the oil is going to rally sometime into these next 2 months. They are looking for this to go long. It has basically hit a support line right here. You got a little wick here, and so it looks like this actually is going to trend higher. So I am looking for oil to go long. But because of what the dollar is on, the steroids that the dollar is on, this fell. All right, so the next target down should be 74. 74. All right, and we'll see what basically happens from there. Still, this is bullish, all right, as you can see on the COT here also. On the CAD exploded with the dollar. It just took off. It broke out of this wedge, and now it's shooting for this weekly support resistance line, this resistance line. And in the COT there was a heavy addition to shorts during this week. So that's pretty interesting. That means that they're shorting the loonie, and the dollar is basically going to be taking control. On the euro tanked again. It is reaching new lows. It is now down at 97, but it's actually at 96. So it hit this support here, and now it's way below. We are still getting divergence on this move. So at some point or another, this is really going to rally higher. And with this rallying, of course, the dollar will go bearish. It'll fall. And most likely, if the dollar basically goes bearish, then all the other markets will probably be left, because people are going to want to put their money in other places, in places where they can gain a yield. And on the pound is moving towards parity, which I, in my years of trading, has never seen. It's been at 2, it's been higher than it, but I've never seen the pound at parity. So that is pretty interesting. It's always been a plus to the dollar. And as you can see, this huge down candle. And let me see if I let me go ahead and mark parity here. Let's see. Let's put the parameters at 1.00. And I'll put that as a yellow line. And this should be something to watch. So that should be interesting. That's how far away parity on the pound is right now. And so with that, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Support my effort, and leave me a like, of course. And knowledge is power. Be power hungry and power to the people. The closest thing to the Holy Grail is following the smart money. This is Parsival, signing out.